Expired. I call the member for Fairfax.
Thank you, Mr Deputy Speaker. I have to say I was a little bit confused originally when I read the wording of the topic for the matter of public importance today, the government's continued failure to address the national energy crisis, because it just seemed like a free kick for the coalition. But then it occurred to me maybe the Labor Party actually is talking about the state governments. Maybe it's talking about the South Australian government. Maybe the Labor Party is admitting that their state Labor government in South Australia is responsible for the recent blackouts, with a rate of 50%. You know, there is no jurisdiction in the world that has more intermittent renewables per capita than South Australia. And I can't think for the life of me any jurisdiction in the developed world that is experiencing more blackouts than South Australia. And so indeed there's a connection, and indeed that government needs to be held to account. Or maybe the Labor Party are talking about the Victorian Labor government, where the RET, the renewable energy target, is 40%, a state where they're going to see the closure of the Hazelwood power plant, a state that, despite wanting to close coal, is determined to maintain a moratorium against the exploration of gas. Or maybe, Mr Deputy Speaker, it's not actually South Australia or Victorian governments to which this topic relates, but in fact the Queensland state government. The Queensland Labor government, which currently governs a state that has only 4% renewables. 4%. Guess what their energy target is? How much? 50%.
No way.
From 4% up to a whopping 50%, Mr Deputy Speaker. Imagine what will happen to the state of Queensland if they actually seek to pursue that.
South Australia.
And South Australia is indeed the example. And the previous speaker referred to North Korea, of all places. Well, maybe that is indeed the beacon of hope for the South Australian government. But let's get back to Queensland. 4%, they want to raise it up to 50%. You know that'll cost $27 billion? $27 billion from the Queensland state government. Now, this is a state government, Mr Deputy Speaker, who is dragging its heels on trying to invest in infrastructure. The Queensland state government is a state government that is refusing to complete studies that would enable a joint Commonwealth and state investment in major infrastructure. Not interested in roads, not interested in rail, but I tell you what, they're more than happy to look at nearly $30 billion to actually try to match South Australia's energy disaster. And maybe therein lies the insight, Mr Deputy Speaker, as to what the topic is all about today. But you might ask the question, what if? What if the Labor Party actually won federal government? Well, guess what? 50% renewable energy target. So they're doing the same. 45% emissions reduction target, double that of the coalition's. Forced closure of coal-fired power plants, and of course they do want a revised carbon tax. I mean, the major instrument that has reduced electricity prices around this country in recent years has actually been the coalition's abolition, taking away Labor's carbon tax. How much would this cost? This Labor plan that basically closes coal and stops gas? $48 billion.
No way.
$48 billion. That's right. So that's $5,000 per household for Labor's plan. Whereas what you see from the coalition side is action, Mr Deputy Speaker, action, trying to fix Labor's mess at the state level, action with a snowy hydro scheme that will deliver the largest storage capacity this country has ever seen, action by ensuring that we get a commitment from the gas players to make gas available for peak demand, a plan for the future with Alan Finkel yet to deliver his report. You see, what we have from Labor is an ism. It's ideology. That's all it is. We have pragmatism here. They have ideologues on the other side. We believe in security and affordability. They believe in getting the preferences from the Greens. We take an agnostic approach. They take a religious zealotry approach. We believe in economics and engineering, and they just believe in false gods. Thank you.